This video is made possible by our loyal Patreon supporters. Visit patreon.com/Psychetruth.
Hi there, it's Sheena here, and today we're going to do a little yoga flow for tight hamstrings. So for those of you who sit at an office all day, for those of you who maybe sit in a car for long periods of time, this is going to be a great exercise to do to loosen up the hamstrings. We're gonna need just some yoga blocks today, so if you have 2 yoga blocks at home, go ahead and get those on your mat. Okay guys, so we're gonna start on our back. So go ahead and bring the feet into the hips here, and we're gonna roll slowly down onto the back. Keeping the legs bent, we're just gonna come into our first happy baby. So go ahead and bring the knees into the chest, and then separate the legs using the arms. Option here to grab the insides of the feet or the outsides of the feet using the elbows to push away the knees. And because we're focusing on tight hamstrings today, we're gonna go ahead and straighten the legs. So straightening the legs in that happy baby is gonna give you that yummy hamstring stretch, and keeping the legs bent gives you an inner thigh stretch, just so you know. So you can go ahead and rock side to side here, massage the spine. You can close the legs and then open them, flexing the feet and pulling the feet in towards you. Remember to breathe here, just taking 5 breaths in our happy baby. Let's take 1 more breath here. And we're actually gonna stay in this position for our next pose, but I'm gonna go ahead and just pop up for a second to grab a block. So go ahead and grab 1 block, and we're just gonna place it underneath the low back for supported waterfall. So we're gonna bring the legs here to 90 degrees. The bottoms of the feet are reaching the ceiling, and we're flexing the feet. So a lot of times if we do have tight hamstrings, we may also have low back pain, and that pain will just sort of radiate through our lower body. Our supported waterfall here helps to give support to the low back, circulates blood flow throughout the legs down to the feet, and we're just breathing here in our supported waterfall. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Last breath here. And go ahead and slowly bend the legs, bring the feet down to the ground, lift the hips and remove the block. We're gonna come up to seated here just for counter posture and take a seated forward fold. So because we just took our first inversion, we wanna take a fold here now. So let's go ahead and get right on those sits bones. We're gonna inhale arms nice and high. And on the exhale, we're just gonna fold over the legs, grabbing the sides of the feet here, not the toes. And we wanna keep one nice long neck, nice long spine here. So we're not bringing the forehead down to the knees, but rather we're thinking about reaching the forehead to the feet. And take a couple more breaths in our seated forward fold here, and then we're just gonna take a little flow. Last breath here. And we're slowly gonna roll up, 1 vertebrae at a time. The head comes last. Let's go ahead and swing those legs out behind us and come into tabletop position. From our tabletop, we're gonna come right into our first down dog. So go ahead and tuck the toes, shift the hips up to the sky for our very first down dog. So if you have tight hamstrings, guys, you can go ahead and bend the legs as much as you need to. Otherwise, we're pedaling the legs. This should feel really, really nice for the hamstrings, the back of the legs, as if you're stepping on a gas pedal here. The head is nice and heavy. There should be no tension in the neck. From our down dog, we're gonna reach that right leg high, and then we're gonna open the hip and bend the leg. On an inhale, we re-extend that right leg. And on the exhale, we're gonna step it in between the hands. From our low lunge position here, we're gonna rise up and plant that left leg onto the ground for triangle pose. So our legs are in one straight line here. Option to use a block for triangle, and if you do so, you're just gonna place it right on the inside of the right foot. So let's inhale our arms up high here. On the exhale, we tuck that right hand down to the inside of the foot and rest it on the block. Option to rest it on the mat, the ankle, the shin as well. I like to use a block here in triangle because it really helps to lengthen that upper body while stretching the hamstrings. So we're gonna take a couple breaths here, so get nice and comfortable. And in your triangle pose, think about lifting and lengthening through the chest. At the same time, you're pulling that left hip back. That's gonna help give you that hamstring stretch in the right leg. Nice, steady, deep breaths here. And we're just gonna take one more breath in our triangle pose. And on an inhale, go ahead and remove the block if you're using one. Frame the right foot, come back to your low lunge. We're gonna loop that right leg through back for a three-legged dog. And on the exhale, we're just gonna come right back to our down dog. On an inhale, let's raise that left leg. We're just gonna do the same thing here. And then exhale, open the hip, bend the leg. Inhale, re-extend that left leg, get nice and long. And on the exhale, we're gonna step it through the hands for low lunge at the top of the mat. We're gonna straighten out here for our triangle pose. So plant that right foot down onto the mat, straighten that left leg, and again, option to use a block here. So if you're using that block, that's gonna go on the inside of the left foot, and we're gonna tick-tock that left hand down and open up to the right. Now you're really gonna feel this again in your hamstring if you think about pulling that right hip back here. But we're not pulling so much that we're hyperextending through the knee here. We're keeping a slight bend in the knee. We're just gonna take 2 more breaths here in our triangle. Last breath here. And on an inhale, bring that right hand down to the ground. Remove the block if you're using one. Go ahead and frame that left foot so we're back in our low lunge position. And we're just gonna loop that left leg through for one more three-legged dog. And exhale back to down dog. Let's take one inhale in down dog just to reset the spine. And one deep exhale in down dog. This time we're gonna go ahead and inhale that right leg long and exhale, step it through again through the hands for low lunge at the top of the mat. Now we're gonna take our pyramid pose. So option again to go ahead and get one block handy. From our low lunge, we're gonna plant the left toes onto the ground, keeping the left heel lifted. That right foot stays nice and planted, and when we look down, our legs are in one straight line. Couple options for the hands here. So option to keep the hands on the hips, or also you can grab opposite elbows behind the back. We're gonna inhale here for length, so stand up nice and tall. And on the exhale, we're just gonna fold over the right leg. Again, the right leg is nice and firm here, but we're keeping a slight bend in the knee. Again, think about pulling that left hip back to straighten the right leg and get that hamstring stretch. Now, if this is hard for you to balance here, that's what this block is for, and just fold over that block. The head is nice and heavy. There's no tension in the neck. Breathe here, and with every exhale, the crown of your head drops closer to the ground. With every exhale, your left heel also plants closer and closer to the ground. One more inhale here. And exhale, let's slowly rise up. Okay, this time instead of coming to our down dog, we're gonna come to a standing wide-legged forward fold. So go ahead and move that block over to the middle of the mat here. And we're gonna inhale here for length, so bringing hands to the hips, reaching through the crown of the head. Inhale, stand up nice and tall. And exhale, we're gonna fold over the legs, hinging at the hips, nice flat back here, guys. So again, keeping a slight bend in the knees, we're not hyperextending through the legs. And if you'd like to fold over a block, you can do so. Otherwise, the hands come down to the mat. You can even grab the ankles here if that feels good for you. You can sway side to side. You should feel this in the hamstrings. With every breath, you're able to straighten the legs more and more. Let's take one more breath in our wide-legged forward fold. And then when you complete the exhale, we're gonna stay nice and low here. This time, move the block over to the left side. That right heel comes off the ground for pyramid pose on the left side. So again, option to bring hands to the hips, option to grab opposite elbows. Inhale, stand up nice and tall here. And on the exhale, we're just gonna fold over that left leg. And if you don't wanna balance here, just grab that block. Wherever you are, you should feel this all throughout your left hamstring. And again, every exhale brings the crown of your head closer to the mat. Every exhale also drives that right heel down. Just breathe here. The whole upper body should be relaxed. Consistently straightening that left leg here, but again, not so much that the knee joint is locked. We'll take 2 more breaths here. One last breath. And slowly rise up. You can bring those hands back onto the hips. We're gonna take one more wide-legged forward fold just to balance it out. So inhale, stand up nice and tall. And exhale, we fold over the legs here. Take one more inhale and wide-legged forward fold. And one more exhale. On the next inhale, we're gonna walk the hands to frame the right foot at the top of the mat for low lunge. And we're actually gonna stay right here. This time, lower that left leg down onto the mat. We're coming to the blade edge of the outside of the right foot here for our lizard pose. So that right foot isn't completely planted on the ground. Go ahead and grab one block here. And using the block here for height to open up the chest, we're gonna inhale here and exhale, fold over the block, folding onto the forearms or folding directly onto the mat. Now you should feel this not only in your right hip flexor, but also all throughout the left hamstring. We're just gonna take 2 more deep breaths here. Last breath. And on an inhale, slowly come back up onto the hands. Again, we're gonna stay nice and low. Grab that second block, get it handy, and we're gonna straighten the right leg for a half splits over the right leg. So option to come up to the highest setting of the block here, option to come down to the lower setting, or you don't have to use them at all. You can also bring your hips to the heels here, guys, and we're just folding over this right hamstring. Again, thinking about reaching the crown of the head to the right foot. We take one more inhale here. And go ahead and inhale and rise back up onto the blocks, bend into that right leg once more. You can get those blocks out of the way, framing the right foot and come back to low lunge. We're just gonna inhale and shift right back to down dog here. And go ahead and pedal out the legs once more. We're just gonna do that same sequence on the other side. So inhale, reach that left leg long. And on the exhale, we step it outside the left hand to come to our lizard pose. Coming to the blade edge of the left foot here, go ahead and grab one block. Inhale and lift that chest high to the sky. And on the exhale, we fold over the block or the mat. Again, you should feel this all throughout the left hip flexor as well as the right hamstring. Keep breathing here. 2 more breaths here. And on an inhale, slowly come back up onto the hands. Place that left foot back onto the ground. And we're grabbing our second block here. We're just gonna straighten that left leg and bringing hip to the heels for half splits on the left side. We're flexing those left toes to protect the knee joint. And again, option to come all the way back here. We're staying here for 3 breaths. And on an inhale, slowly bend into that left leg once more. Remove the blocks if you're using them. Frame that left foot with the hands coming back into our low lunge. And we're just gonna shift right back to down dog. This is our last down dog here, so take whatever you need in this down dog. Pedal the legs once more. Notice how your heels may drop closer to the floor than they did according to your second down dog here, rather than your first down dog in the beginning of this sequence. On an inhale, go ahead and bring those knees down to the mat, and we're coming to our tabletop position. And from our tabletop, we're just gonna come to seated, bringing the legs out long in front of us. Go ahead and bring the arms out in front as well. And we're gonna tuck chin to chest, getting ready to lower down onto the back. As slowly as you can, lower down 1 vertebrae at a time. Let's go ahead and bring that right knee into the chest. Make sure when you do so, think about planting that left hip onto the mat so it doesn't come up. Flexing the toes on the left foot and the right foot. And then we're gonna bring that right knee out to the side. Again, that left leg is nice and straight and long, toes are flexed. Now you have the option to stay here if you'd like a deeper stretch. We're just gonna bring that right knee across the body for a supine twist. Now, option to use a block in a supine twist. If you have super tight hip flexors and hamstrings, all you're gonna do is rest your right knee on a block here. The arms come out to T or arms come out to cactus. If it's comfortable for your neck, you can look over the right shoulder. We're just gonna breathe here for 3 breaths. Take 1 more breath here. Go ahead and slowly grab that right knee once more, bring it back into the chest, and then we're gonna lower it down onto the ground. We're not just flopping it down. You can give it a quick little shake, and we're just gonna switch sides. Bring that left knee into the chest, hugging it with the hands. That right leg is nice and active here, it's not passive, so flex those toes, lengthen through the right leg. On an inhale, bring that left knee out to the side, almost like you're trying to reach your left armpit. Again, option to stay here. And for a deeper stretch, option to bring the left knee across the body. And again, just for some support, you can rest that left knee on a block here. Go ahead and bring the arms to cactus or T. Looking over the left shoulder this time if it's comfortable for your neck. 3 breaths here, settle into the pose. Last breath here. And on an inhale, go ahead and bring that left knee into the chest 1 more time. This time we're gonna bring the right knee to meet the left. Give yourself 1 little tight squeeze here. And on an exhale, we're gonna release the legs and let them fall out long in front of you. Because this sequence is focused on hamstrings, you have the option at home to take a supported Shavasana. So I suggest that you just place one block underneath each knee, just like so. Just helps to lengthen the legs. And go ahead and bring the arms down to the sides, palms facing up. Just relax the legs. Shavasana. Close the eyes here and settle into the breath. And I recommend you at home stay in this pose anywhere from 2 to 10 minutes. And when you're ready to release from the pose and return to your day, go ahead and slowly come back up to seated position. Remove the blocks from underneath the knees. And cross the legs. And that's it. That's your yoga sequence for tight hamstrings. And you can go ahead and do this up to twice a day. It should just help to really ease out any tension in the legs, the feet, and the hip flexors as well. Thank you for practicing with me. Namaste.
Many of our subscribers don't see our videos. Make sure that you click the notification bell. And if you haven't already, follow us on social media for tips, tutorials, giveaways, and daily inspiration.
Wellness Plus is available on Amazon, which you can stream from your home on your phone, tablet, or TV. Join Wellness Plus today and get your first 7 days free.
Introducing YogaPlus, offering a free series every month with over 300 different videos. Take control of your health. Work out anytime, anywhere. YogaPlus. Download now for free.